Okay, so this is my um, Pro-ject RPM 3 carbon, I believe is what it's called. Um, and I think I'm almost done with it. I've got one more upgrade to do to it, which is that I purchased Leeds wires to rewire the tone arm. I committed to this turntable when I bought it, not knowing a lot about turntables. It'd been a long time since I'd been in vinyl, and I had gotten out of vinyl, well, because I didn't keep it clean, and I had a crappy turntable, and it didn't sound all that great. I'm getting to the point now where I think it's sounding pretty good. So what I've got here is I was looking to get an isolation base, and I was looking on the web, and they were, oh, I don't know, crazy prices for them. And this is where I'm at right now is sedimentary deposits left by glaciation. So this is shale from a beach just up the shore a little bit. Sorry, I bumped the camera there. So this is laid in thin layers and compressed over time. It's a sedimentary deposit, and I just took it from the beach, put it on isolation feet, and then put the turntable right on it. I'm going to show you this. This is an upgraded platter. It's the acrylic platter for it. So I replaced the old MDF platter. Why did I do that? Well, a couple of reasons really. One is the acrylic is very consistent overall in its balance all the way around the platter. I mean, as you can see here, can you see them? Great, can't see them. Oh, you can see them right there. See the two holes that are drilled here to try and balance this platter. That's because the material itself is not that consistent in density all the way around. So they have to try and balance it in the long run. I also had some play in the bearing here, so that my platter could have a little bit of. I had a damp cloth on my hand, so my platter could have a little tiny bit of play that way. This one's a little better, but it is exactly the same bearing, maybe mounted differently. One thing though, that's hugely different between these two platters, and I measured it with calipers. So I measured this with calipers. I'm going to get rid of this so I can show you the rest. So then I mounted this turntable. There's quite a bit of difference between the two. Like, not quite a quarter of an inch. Well, it would be a quarter of an inch actually. Pretty close. 3/8 would be 3/8 of an inch difference between the two. So if you ever do upgrade the platter, you've got to adjust. So I upgraded the platter, and then it sounded terrible because the angle, the rake angle of my stylus was too high on the record, on the vinyl. So I had to go through the whole thing again and redo it. Another great thing I got, if it's going to work, and I'm going to have to drop this camera down. So I'm going to pause the camera and drop it down just to show you this. Okay, so first things first, leveling the turntable after I put the platter on. So I went with a digital. That's just a thing that holds a record album behind it, sticking its head up into the photo. All right, so acrylic platter was thinner. Leveled it up. This fluctuates between 0.1 and 0, back and forth. It's really hard to get it to sit at 0 all the time in both axes. Right now I've got it set up for 0 on one axis and 0.1 in the other, 0.1 of a degree out, which is about as good as I can get it and maintain it at. To get them both on 0, it's really hard to even get it on 0. The adjustment is so fine to get it there. And right now, like I said, sometimes when I put this on, it goes to 0.1, and other times it goes to 0. Right now it's sitting at 0.1 for whatever reason. But that's very close. So, then you go through the entire other process because you lowered this thing of checking all your angles and adjusting that. What else have I done to this turntable? Oh yeah, all right, this is going to get a little bumpy. I put on the auto, and I did a video on them, auto lift. So when I hit the end of the vinyl, as soon as I hit the dead wax, it lifts the arm automatically. It's a nice feature. I mean, the thing about these turntables, and I guess most of the turntables now, which are considered, crazily, are considered entry level hi-fi turntables, I guess is what we would call them. I don't know. But they certainly are expensive for what you're getting. I mean, you're not getting any of the features that I've added. Like, you're not getting a lift at the end of it. You're not getting automatic start. You know, manual 2-speed on this one. You have to change pulleys. There's quite a bit I would have taken into consideration if I was buying again from scratch. But, you know, once you've committed, you've committed. That's kind of the way I look at it. And the cost to, at this point, to have bought what I wanted, it would have been cheaper to buy what I wanted from the start. But at this point, I like the sound. I like what I've got. And it sounds fantastic. So I was just going to drop on an album and hit play. And there you have it. So one other thing I did that I should mention is that's not a weight in the middle of the record holding it flat. That's a clamp. And I opted to go with that because the motor on this isn't all that powerful. It's got a rinky-dink little belt that drives it. I did check the speed and the wow with an app. I was a third of an RPM fast, and my wow was under 0.15 plus or minus, I think is what it said. For whatever that's worth, it's an app on a phone. I don't know whether you should be relying on that for accuracy or not. I think you want a strobe and one of the cards to measure the speed accurately and see exactly what you've got. But it's a good indicator that I'm pretty close to where I should be. I guess if nothing else, that's what it is. Anyway, if you liked it, click like and please subscribe. That's all. Thanks.